By 2050, we must eliminate greenhouse gas emissions to avoid climate catastrophe. That deadline has created a pervasive sense of dread about the future. Constant worry can be self-defeating. If we believe the future is guaranteed to suck, we risk a self-fulfilling prophecy of paralysis. We need to reframe this crisis. Instead of viewing it as an unavoidable apocalypse, we should look at it as a massive, executable manufacturing project. Avoiding catastrophe is a matter of aggressive, unyielding industrial execution. We do not need to wait for a political miracle. We need to manufacture the solution. The blueprint for a sustainable global economy relies on exactly 3 foundational pillars. The first is sustainable energy generation. We have to collect power primarily through solar and wind, supplemented by sources like hydro and nuclear. The second is electric transport. We have to replace the fossil fuel combustion in our cars, boats, and planes with high-efficiency electric motors. The third is stationary battery storage. Solar and wind are intermittent power sources, so we need large-scale packs to store that energy for when the sun isn't shining. While our generation and transport technologies are scaling rapidly, our battery capacity is lagging far behind. This makes stationary storage the tightest choke point in our supply chain and the single greatest manufacturing bottleneck in human history. A full transition requires us to look beyond our current electrical grid. We have to account for the total energy load of global heating and transport as well. This chart shows our current electricity needs. Adding heating and transport triples the world's requirement. To support this, we need 300 terawatt-hours of installed battery capacity. In perspective, a single gigafactory today aims for just 0.1 terawatt-hours of connection per year. Scaling our production by a factor of thousands seems impossible, but we have achieved this level of industrial mobilization before. During World War II, we manufactured heavy equipment, like the B-24 bomber, at a pace that previously seemed unreachable. The obstacle isn't inventing a new technology, it is the sheer logistical challenge of building hundreds of massive factories all over the world. Even if we build the factories, we are restricted by the fundamental speed limit of the lithium-ion battery cell supply chain. Every battery begins as raw earth that is mined, refined through complex chemical processes, and manufactured into a final cell. A delay at any single node creates a total constriction. The entire global system's output is limited by the slowest step in this chain. Whoever solves that slowest step effectively dictates the speed of the global transition to sustainability. What happens to human civilization the moment we successfully push through that bottleneck and hit our 300 terawatt-hour target? We would see a fundamental shift in economics. A mature, sustainable grid means the baseline cost of energy begins plummeting toward zero. Near-free electricity makes energy-intensive processes practical. We can suddenly afford to process seawater at a massive scale. Desalination is a power-hungry process. By removing energy as a primary cost barrier, we significantly increase the viability of large-scale water production for arid regions, tapping into the 70% of our planet that is ocean. Successfully clearing the battery bottleneck transforms the economics of sustainability, making large-scale infrastructure for clean water and carbon capture a practical reality. With abundant energy, we gain the ability to execute carbon sequestration on a planetary scale, literally pulling CO2 out of the atmosphere to reverse trends. Ending the combustion of fossil fuels also removes toxic particulates from our air. Our cities will become quieter and the sky will become cleaner. This mathematically viable reality stands in stark contrast to the cultural dread we see today. Our objective is to build a future that is genuinely worth getting excited about. Life should be an adventure of discovery and expansion, not an endless cycle of solving one miserable problem after another. A sustainable future is achievable. If we stop worrying, push hard, and execute the math, the future will be great.